Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kobe and this is SkyTech Digital. Now in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create this Figma design over here, hero session over here. Okay, so we're gonna create this hero session over here with Figma, and then what we will do is we will turn this hero session into a WordPress website. Okay, just like this one that we've done over here. So that's exactly what we are going to do. So first of all, we will design this one in Figma, and then after designing it, we will take it to WordPress, and then what, bring it live on what, a WordPress website, just like what as you see over here. Okay, so that is exactly what we're gonna do over here. So if you are new over here and you want to join the family, please hit the subscription button over there so that you come and join this web design family that you see over here. Okay, and I know you're gonna like this video, so let's jump into it. Okay guys, so what we're going to create is this hero session over here. So as you can see, we have a transparent header over here with a menu items on it, and then also we have this social icons over here, and then we have the how do you call it, the logo too of the website over here, and then a background over here, and then with some title written on it, and then a button. Okay, so this is just a simple hero session that we're going to create using Figma. Okay, so we're not going to waste much time on it. Now for those of you who are first users of Figma, what you need to do is just go to a new tab over here, and then just type in figma.com. okay, just type in figma.com, and then it's going to take you to Figma. Now if you are new, it will tell you to register or sign up for it. You can use your your social media profiles to sign up to Figma. Okay, so you will just it will appear over here, or you can just sign up to it, and then you're gonna have a creative dashboard like this for you to play around it. Okay, so basically that is how you can be able to sign up to Figma. Now when you sign up to Figma for the first time, you can just click on here to say create new design file. Okay, but if you are not a first time user, okay, you can still use it, this tool over here to create it if you are on the dashboard over here. Okay, but if maybe you are in a new project like this, and then you want to create a new file, it is also very simple. You see this logo, Figma logo over here, just click on it, and then go to file over here, and then click on this one which says new design file over here. You can just click on it to create a new design. Now of course I have this one open for me over here, so I'm not going to create a new thing over here. So if you have this one, I'm going to close this one over here. If you have this one open and done for you, so what you gonna do is let me just close this one and then reopen it again. So I'm going to go to this logo over here, go to file over here, and then click on new file. Okay, to open a new file for the project that we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're just going to redesign this. So I'm going to show you how I did this one, okay, using Figma. So it's very simple. Now I'm taking it slow by slow because I know a lot of you are new users of Figma, and then you want to learn more about it. But then if you know how to use any design tool, you can be able to use Figma because it's almost work similar. Okay, now this is an online thing, meaning that you don't have to download something before you use it. It means that you are working online. Okay, you're working online, so this is an online thing. So if you know how to use Elementor and all those things, you can be able to use this one. Okay, because it also basically works similar to Elementor. but you have to use squares and all those kind of stuff to design your project. Okay, so guys, that is it. So these are all tools you can use. Okay, now if you want to know the name of the tool, you can just hover on it, and then the name will appear down for you. Okay, so as you can see, if you hover on it, you see this one says move. Okay, if you hover on this one says this one says frame. Okay, so that is the frame. If you hover this one says rectangle. Okay, if you hover on this one, it says the pen tool. Okay, this one is text, and this one is resources, this one is the hand tool, and this one is add a comment. Okay, so whatever you need, you just hover on it. Now of course the arrow shows you that there are more selections that you can select over here. Okay, so this one also the same thing. So we have the rectangle, the line, all those kind of things. Okay, you can get it over here. The same thing applies to this one. So pencil, pen. Okay, and then this one doesn't have any arrow, but this one is also resources. Now of course Figma have resources, but we're not going to go into it. We're going to use the standard tool or the basic tools that we will be able to use it. Now the more you explore it, the more you know more about it. Okay, so we're going to use the standard tool. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to choose a frame for it. Okay, so we'll click over here, and then as you can see over here, this is the desktop. Okay, so when I click over here, the properties the design properties also shows over here. Okay, so as you can see over here, this is a phone. So if you are designing a phone, use a phone frame. If you are using a tablet, use a tablet frame. If you are using a desktop, it is a desktop frame over here. You can see it over here: presentation, watch, paper, social media, Figma community, and then archive. So we're going to work on a desktop. Okay, and then we're going to use the MacBook Air. Okay, so that is what I'm using right now. So I'm going to use the MacBook Air. So I'm going to click over here. Okay, and as you can see, I have the MacBook Air display for me. So this is just the screen of the MacBook Air. Okay, now from here to here gives you the width of it. Okay, and then this one gives you the height. Okay, but if you want to extend the height, you can of course do it. You can just drag it down to extend the height. Okay, so maybe you are designing a whole home page altogether, so you can extend the height. Okay, so that is it. So guys, so we have our our frame ready, our screen to work with ready. Okay, now we need to start designing our website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the hero background. Okay, so what I will do is because I want to use the background on an overlay. Okay, so what I would do is I'll just pick a square over here. Okay, and then I'll draw a huge square like this. I'm going to draw a huge square to cover the frame. Okay, now I'm going to give the square color. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a color over here. Okay, this place, and then I'll drag in a black color over here. Okay, so I have my my black color over here. Now the next one that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the image on top of it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to pick my image over here. So this is the image that I'm going to use. Okay, so I'll just use this image, or I'll go over here and then go to file over here, and then just click on place image. Okay, so when I click on place image, I can select an image from where I want to select it from. So I'm going to select an image from the desktop, and then from the folder called Figma. Okay, over here, and then I'm going to select this image. Okay, so I'm going to select this particular image. Now it's going to load, and then as you can see, it says place all or discard all. Okay, so but what I'm going to do is I want to drag it to cover all the space that I want. So I'm just going to drag it. Okay, so I hold I drag it, and then make sure that I cover everywhere that I want. Okay, so after that, if it doesn't really cover it well, what I need to do is, I just, hold the corners over here and then drag it to position it well. Okay, so I make sure that it fits in perfectly. Okay, and that is it. So as you can see, the image covers it, but then I want to have that kind of overlay. Okay, so that I can be able to when I write on it, it will be seen. Okay, so now remember that, guys, remember that everything that we are doing should be in the frame. Okay, it should be under this frame. Okay, now if I move this one away over here, now it means that it is not in the frame. Okay, but it have to be in the frame, and that is it. So as you can see, I have to move it in the frame. So everything should be in the frame. Okay, so that we can view it whenever we want to view it. So this is it's like I said, I want the black overlay to come. Okay, so what I need to do is I just need to reduce the fill or the opacity of this image. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it 50%. Okay, so as you can see, I can see the kind of black overlay. Okay, or what you can do is you can just bring this I can also do give it the 100%, and then I can bring this rectangle on top of this one and then reduce the opacity of the rectangle. So let's say 20. Okay, so as you can see, I've reduced it to let's say 20 is not that much, so let me go to, let's say, 50. So as you can see, I've reduced the opacity of the color of the rectangle to 50. So anyway, it can work. Okay, depends on how you want to go about it. So guys, now that we have our hero session, our image placed on the hero session, now what we need to do is we want to bring our logo over here, and then also we want to bring start typing our menu and other stuff over here. But first we need to type in the menu. Now let's look at how the menu looks like. So as you can see, we have the home, about, services, and then contact. Okay, and then this social icons over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to either use the place image that we did for this one, or let me use this one over here, so that I can drag in the images that I want to drag in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag in this image over here. Okay, so as you can see, it works perfectly. Now I'm going to position it over here, and then I'm just going to place my cursor on the corner over here, and then drag it into it to reduce the size of it. Okay, or I can just use this over here to reduce the width, and then the height. Okay, you can even take away the X and Y. Okay, so that you can position it anyhow you want it. But I think I can just use the corners over here to also do whatever I feel like doing for it. So now I can just position the logo in a nice position, which I think is all right. So this place is okay for me. Now I have my logo position on the transparent header right now. So I'm going to use this place as my transparent header. Okay, so now that I have my logo set up, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my my items over here, the menu items over here. So the home, about, services over here, I'm going to bring, let me come in well, so that you guys to see whatever I'm doing well. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, this is the home, about, services, and then contact. Okay, so let's go to the project that we're doing, and then what we're going to do is, now if sometimes you are doing something and you want to click, make sure that this one is unselected, just click outside. Okay, so when you click outside, everything will be unselected, and then you can click on any tool that you want to use over here, and then use it. So I'm going to click on text over here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just drag the text in it like this. Okay, and then I'll type in the home. So home. Now I'm using the Montserrat font to font family to work on this project. Okay, so for those of you who know me, you know that I like this kind of font. So I'm going to what select or the text over here, and then I'll go to this place which says what text over here. Now I'm going to what change this one to what Montserrat. Now of course Figma is using what the Google font. Okay, so any Google fonts that you want to use, you can have it over here. And then I'm going to what increase this size to 22. Okay, and then I'm also going to what change this one to medium. Okay, yeah, so I think this is it. I'm going to click over here and then move it to what position it well, so that it will be, you know, align with what with the logo. Okay, so as you can see, it is what aligned very well. So now I'm going to what you know, close in the what the text area. Okay, so that it wouldn't take more space over there. So now that I have this one, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, I'm going to duplicate this one. Now if I'm using the Mac. Okay, so I'm going to click on the option or the option, and then what you know, drag. Okay, so I just click on option and then what, and then drag it, and then it's going to what duplicate it for me. Okay, now of course you can also what right click it over here, and then you know, see whatever that you want to see. So if you want to copy, if you want to paste, if you want to, you know, paste, replace, or anything that you want to do, you can just copy and paste. Okay, so that is it. So that is what if you are what right clicking. So this one will be what about. Okay, so I'm going to say about over here, and then click outside, and then still duplicate this one also. So I'm going to duplicate this one. This one goes up, so I'm going to bring it a little bit down. Yeah, so this one will be what services. So yeah, so as you can see, the text area is not that big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the text area so that it fits in just one area. Okay, and then the next one is I'm still going to duplicate this one and make it to a contact. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say contact. Okay, so now that we have you know, we have the, you know, the home, about, services, and then contact done. If I click outside, this is how it's gonna what it's gonna be like. Okay, so if you look over here, it says what home, about, services, and then what contact. Okay, now our next thing that we're gonna do is I'm just going to what select all of them, and then, you know, reposition it well. Okay, so I'm going to go to contact, and then I'll hold shift and then click on what home over here to select all of them, and then, you know, I'll drag it in well. Okay, so I'm gonna what bring it a little bit this way, so that there's going to be what some kind of spacing, wall spacing over here. As you can see, there is more space over here. Okay, so I'm going to you know, just hold on command and then click on this ones over here. Okay, to contact, and then I'll make sure that I reduce that kind of space over here. Okay, so as you can see, I think it's quite all right, but not that kind of all right. So I'm going to go again, and then, you know, increase it a little bit. Yeah, so I think this one is quite okay. The spacing is all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, you know, bring the icons over here. So I have my social icons already set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this place, and then these are my social icons. So let me look at this one and see they use only 3 social icons. So I'm also going to use you know, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay, and then I'll drag it in over here. Now oh, hold on, let me go to this place. Okay, so I'm going to drag it in over here. Okay, so I'm going to drag it one by one. Okay, so that I'll just, yeah, so I have this one over here. So now the Facebook is here. So I'll just reduce the size a little bit. Okay, so reduce it to the size that you want, if you feel it's okay for you. Okay, so 36, you know, 39. Okay, So you can come over here and then even make it to a 39 or 40. Okay, so let's say 40 and then 40. So that will be what, 40 over here. Okay, so now that I have this one, I can just what, drag it to it, position it well over here. Okay, to the place that I want. Okay, so now I have this one out, position it well. Okay, so now I can go ahead and then what, bring the rest. Okay, so I can come to it, Instagram, put it here, and then go over here, unlink this one, and then just type in what, 40. Okay, 40 is what, it's quite okay. And then I can drag this one also what, to this same what place. Okay, so now the next one is what, is also the Twitter. Okay, so I can also what, drag it over here and then still make it what, 40. Okay, so as you can see, it is what, 40. And then what I can do is what, I can, where is it? Okay, Twitter. Yeah. Oh, so what happens is the Instagram and Twitter has gone under the what, the rectangle. Okay, that is the overlay that we give. Now we're going to bring it up over here so that it's going to what, it's going to show. Okay, so let me just drag the Twitter to over here. Okay, so yeah, so now we have what, our header also what, set up. Okay, so our header menu and our transparent header menu is what, is all done. Now we are what, we are almost good to go. Okay, so now what else are we supposed to do now? What is that left with? What is this title header over here? Okay, so we're going to use the title header and then this one also. Okay, I'm going to show you how I did this one, and then we use the button also. Okay, so basically that is what we are good to go, we're going to do. So first things first, this one, the music is what, is live. Okay, so what we're going to do is just use the text over here and then just drag in what, this one over here. Okay, so I'm just going to write what, music is live. Okay, and then I'll select all of them and then I'll go over here, and then as you can see, this one I'm going to make it to what, 85. Okay, so as you can see, this is what, 85 over here. Now of course you can play around with what, this one, make it to what, semi bold. Okay, so it depends on how you want to make it. So I have what, music is live over here. Now if I click outside, I can reduce the size of the text area. Okay, now I can play around with it, make sure that I position it in the middle. Okay, in the middle, and that is it. So now that I have this one over here, music is live. Now the next one is what, let me see, the next one is it says what, enjoy great song around. Okay, so this one is what, around the world. Okay, around the world. So enjoy great sounds around the world. So and what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one and then bring this one down over here. Okay, and then I'll say what, I'll reduce this one to 30 over here, and then make this one what, medium, or even what, regular. Okay, so that is it. And then I'll say enjoy great songs around the world. Okay, so now that I have this one, I'm going to click outside it, reduce the size of the text area, and then what, drag it and position it in the middle of it. Okay, so as you can see, I have it what done over here. Now the next one is what to bring the button. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it on this one. So I'm going to click this one, and then bring it down a little bit. Yeah, so this one is, I think it's okay. So I'm going to use the down arrow on the keyboard to bring it down a little bit. So I think it's quite okay. So now what I'm going to do is what I'm going to bring in the button. Now to draw a button or to design a button is also very simple. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the rectangular tool over here, and then I'm going to draw a rectangle over here. Okay, so I'm going to draw a rectangle over here, and then I'm going to change the color of this rectangle. So I'll click on this color fill over here, and then I'm going to use this this tool over here. Okay, the color picker tool over here. Click on it, and then just use the logo color over here. Okay, so I'm going to use this logo color. So as you can see, the color is filled in it. Now I want to make the borders the corners over here as rounded. Okay, so I'm going to use this this one over here. So what I'm going to do is this is corner radius. So the corner radius, I'm going to change it to 50. Okay, so as you can see, it's going to be 50 for me. Okay, and if I feel like it's still not okay, I can go ahead and then make it maybe 100. Okay, so that it's going to be fully rounded. Okay, now the next one is I want to write inside the inside this how do you call it, this button. Okay, so I want to write the text on the button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a text over here, and then I'm going to drag in this text area over here, and then I'm going to say stream now. So stream now. Okay, now I'm going to select this one, Control or Command A, and then I'll come over here and then change this one to regular, and then change this one to 30. Okay, so I think now I have 30. So 30 I think is even too small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 50. Okay, or maybe 45. So let's say 45. Yeah, so 45 is quite okay. I'm going to click outside, and then reduce the size of this one, the text area. Okay, and then position the text in it very well. So as you can see, we have a stream now button over there. Now if you feel like that the button is too big, you can reduce the size of it. Just reduce the size of it. Okay, you can just reduce the size of it, and then position this one in the middle of the button. Okay, so as you can see, we have our text in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this text to let's say 40. Yeah, so that I think 40 is quite okay. Okay, so it's gonna be something like this. Okay, so now we have our stream now button over here. Okay, so of course you can reduce the size of the button to anyhow you want it, but this is just to show you how everything works. So if you feel like you want to put this one bring it on top, you can select this two over here and then just push it up. Okay, to make it something like something like this. So guys, as you can see, this is how you can be able to create a hero session using Figma. Okay, now it looks similar to this one. Okay, so it looks similar to this one. So let's push this one up a little bit. Yeah, so it looks similar to almost the same as the first one. Okay, so basically that is how you can create a hero session using Figma. Now if you want to take a look at it, you can click on this frame over here, and then we can use this one to present it. So let's click this one, and then let's wait for it to load and then see how it looks like on the front end. So guys, as you can see, this is how it looks like on the on the front end in in on a Mac. Okay, so this is MacBook Air, and this is how it's going to it's going to look like. Okay, so everything appears to be very nicely done. And if you are not comfortable with it, you can you can go ahead and then play around it. Okay, so that is how you can you can present it to your client or to anybody who wants to see your design skills and other stuff. Okay, so that is it. So I hope this video will help you to be able to get around with with Figma, and then design it and then present it to your client. Thank you for watching this video, and then I hope you go ahead and then subscribe to this channel, okay, so that this channel will grow. So on the next video, I'll show you how you can change this or bring this website or this design to life on on a live website. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Now what we're going to do is we're going to convert this design to WordPress website. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. So this is just a hero session, and that is all what we are going to do. Okay, so to do that, first of all, make sure that you have WordPress installed. Okay, you have bought your domain, and then connect your hosting and everything, and then install WordPress on your website. So I know you guys know how to do this, and if you don't know how to do this, I'll leave a link in the description so that you can be able to learn how to do this as a whole. Now what you need to do is to get hosting. Now to get cheap hosting, I'll also leave a link in the description for you to go over there and then buy cheap hosting and domain names over there. Okay, now of course it's an affiliate link, so if you are able to use that link, it will help me also to be able to produce more of these videos for you guys. Now what we are going to do is basically simple. We're going to convert this design, okay, into a WordPress website. So like I said, what you need to do is you need to have your WordPress installed. So this is what the new WordPress installed that I've done. If you check the front end, there is nothing over here. Now, for those of you who don't know this theme, this is what the new WordPress theme, okay, 2023 theme. Okay, so that is it. Now I'm going to do some few settings before I start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dismiss this one and then go over here and then remove all this widgets over here so that I have a clean dashboard. Okay, so now first of all, I'm going to go to settings over here and then go to general settings and then fix some small issues over there. So site title, I'm going to name this one hit play, and then this one I'm going to say music is life. Okay, so basically that is it. Now I'm going to leave everything as it is, and then I'm going to click on save changes over here. Okay, so now that I have this one, I'm going to go to permalinks over here and then also change the permalinks from day and time to to post name over here. Okay, and then I'm going to click on save changes. Okay, so now that I'm done with the few settings that I'm going to do, now what I'm going to go is I'm going to go straight to appearance over here and then click on themes. I want to install a new theme, okay, for this website. So I'm going to click on add new, and then I will use the the cadence or the Astra theme. Which one I want, I can go for it. Okay, so I'm going to use the Astra theme over here, and then I'm going to click on install. Now of course you can decide to go and then use the cadence theme or the Ocean WP. These are best free themes. That is what I love using them. Okay, so click on activate over here to activate it. Now we have the Astra theme activated. Okay, so Astra comes with, now I'm not going to install any Astra template, so I'm going to close it. Now what I need to do is I need to do some few settings for the Astra theme. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the customizer session over here, and then just do some few settings. I want to set the colors and all those things so that it will what it will make my work very easy whenever I'm starting it. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the header. Okay, so I'm going to go to header over here, and then I want the header to be transparent. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to enable transparent. Okay, so transparent is what is enabled, and that is what I want. I want, the header to be transparent, and then you can set your background color and all those things, but I think the transparent header is what is good for me. Okay, then I'm going to publish it. Okay, so now I'll go back. So now that I have my header to be transparent, now I'm going to go to pages over here. I'm going to go to all pages, and then to see if there are some pages created for me. Now, of course, it is the default pages which are created. One is in draft, and then the one is a sample page. So I'm going to click on add new to create the page that I want to design. Okay, so that is exactly what we are going to do. So first of all, I'm going to close this one, and then I'm going to name this page as, let me say, home. Okay, so I'm going to call this page home, and then I'm just going to click on publish over here. Okay, now I'm going to click over here and then click here and then exit the full mode, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to plugins over here and then click on install plugins over here. Now I want to install a new plugin. Okay, now the plugin that I want to install is called Elementor. That is the page builder that I'm going to use to build the to convert the Figma design into WordPress design. So I'll click on add new over here, and then I'll search for Elementor. Okay, so just type in Elementor. So it'll bring you Elementor website builder. Okay, this is what we need, and then click on install now. Okay, so now that it is installed, we're going to activate it. Okay, very good. So we have our Elementor installed and activated. Now what we're going to do is we are going straight to the pages over here, and then we're going to click on all pages, and then we are going to use Elementor to design the home page that we want to design. Okay, so we're going to click on home over here, or you can click on edit, and then as you can see, because we install Elementor, this is the button that you can see over here. Okay, so you can see this button over here, and that is a good thing. Okay, so now that we have this installed, we can click on this one to edit the the page. Okay, so now first of all, let me go over here and then see the layout of the page that we want. So you can check the layout, whether you want a sidebar, whatever it is, you can do all those things. Okay, so however you want it, you can disable primary menu, you can do a whole lot of things that you want. Okay, so that is with this one. Now let me go over here, and then for now everything is okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to click on this big button over here, which says the blue button, which says edit with Elementor. So we're going to click on it to edit the page with Elementor. Okay guys, so Elementor is opened and then ready to use. Okay, so as you can see over here, we have two buttons over here. One is the plus and one is the folder button. Okay, now this one is used to create sessions. Okay, and this one is used to to add any template that you have already you designed or imported onto your website. So now of course what we're going to do is this is the navigation, so every session that we create will come over here. Okay, so I'm going to close this one and then have a full screen over here. So for those of you who are new in Elementor, I have a new video which talks about full Elementor tutorial, how you can use Elementor and all those things. You can check it out, okay, if you want it. Now for this tutorial, we're going to concentrate on how to bring this design to life. Okay, so as you can see over here, we have only one session. Okay, one section with the background. It's just very simple to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and then click on this section over here, and then we're going to use this section. Okay, so the first one. Now as you can see, because it is a transparent header, what happens, we have this one moved over here. So now that we have we can click over here to edit the session. Okay, and this one will appear for us. Now we're gonna click over here and then click on full screen over here. Okay, so everything is quite okay. Now before we even go ahead, we can click over here and then we can check the site settings and all those things. Okay, so whatever you want, you can do that. And also we can click on these settings, and then the page layout, we can use Elementor full width. Okay, so make sure that you have Elementor full width as the page layout. Okay, so now that you have this one done, I can click on here to open this edit with Elementor over here. And then what I'm going to do is I want it to be full width. The content gap, I want it to be default. I can even say no gap. Okay, so the height, I want it to be minimum height. Okay, so, or if I want it to be fit to screen, you can also do that. I want it to be minimum height, and then I want it to be V8. Okay, VH 100%. And then column position and all these things. This one I want it to be vertical, and everything is quite okay. Now I'm going to go to the style over here. Now with the style, the background, I'm going to use the background type to be classic over here, and I'm going to pick an image. So over here, this is where we drag all our images over here. So I will click over here to select the image that I want to use. Okay, so I'm going to go to my desktop and then drag my image that I want to use. So let me go to my Figma design, and I'm going to drag this image and this image over there. So I'm going to bring it over here. Now as you can see, I have two images. One is the logo, and then one is the main background image. So I'm going to insert the image over here, and then I'm supposed to have this one over here. Okay, so as you can see, this is how it looks like. Now the position, I want it to be center. The the attachment, I want it to be default. The repeat, I want it to be no repeat, and then the size, I want it to be cover. Okay, so that is going to be something like this. Okay, yeah, so now we have something like this, which is quite okay. So as you can see, this is how it's going to behave. Okay, so now what we need to do is to give it an overlay. So as you can see, this one over have a darker overlay. Okay, so that's the same thing that we're going to do over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to background overlay over here, and then give it a background type, the classic. And then this time around, we're not going to bring an image, but we're going to use a color. Okay, so we're going to dim it a little bit. Okay, so now of course you can go ahead and then play with the opacity. Okay, it depends on what you want to do. So let's say the opacity is 50 is quite okay. 50 is quite okay. So opacity is 50, and I think it's okay. So now that we have the overlay and everything done, now we are good to go. So what else do we need to do? Now first of all, we need to bring the heading, the heading widget, and then this subtitle over here, and then the button. Okay, so let's go over here and then click on this plus icon over here, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag in heading widget over here. Okay, so now we're gonna say music is live. So let's see how it is. So it's in capital letters, so we're gonna use capital music is live. Okay, so we're gonna position it in the middle using this center alignment tool over here, and then we're gonna go to style. Okay, go to style over here and then change the text color to white. Okay, now that we have this one, now with the typography, it's also very simple. Go to this place and then go to change the typography to Montserrat. So as you can see, what we're doing over here, what we use over here is Montserrat. So if I click over here, you can see that it is Montserrat. It is semi bold, and then it's 85. Okay, so that's the same way we're gonna do. Okay, so Montserrat, it is what, semi bold over here, and then it is 85. Okay, so just like this one. So everything is quite okay. Now what I'm going to do is I can either bring this one over here. I can either use a title or a description, a widget, okay, or a text widget. Okay, so I'm still going to use a text widget, but this time around I'm going to duplicate this one. So I'm going to say duplicate. Okay, and then this time around, instead of what music is life, I'm saying enjoy great songs around the world. So I'm going to write this one, which says what, enjoy great songs around the world. Okay, so I have this one done. Now if you go over here and then we look at it, you see that this one is what, Montserrat, right? It's regular, and then it is what, 30. Okay, so what we're going to use is go to style over here and then change the typography from font family to what, the same Montserrat. Okay, and then this one is what, 30. And then instead of the semi bold, it is what, it is regular, and the regular is still the same as what, the normal. Okay, so that is what, that is it. So now we have this one also done. Now the next one we're gonna do is what, to bring in our what, our button. Okay, so we're gonna drag our button over underneath this one. We're gonna align it in the center over here, and then what does the button say? It says what, stream now. Okay, so if you look at the text on the button, it's also what, Montserrat regular, and then what, 40. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this one over here, and then we say what, stream now. Okay, is it stream now? Yes, stream now. Okay, so now that we have it done as stream now, of course you can link this one to your any streaming thing that you have. Okay, but we are just designing the hero, so we're not going to what, link it. And then we go to style over here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the typography. We change this one to what, Montserrat. Okay, and then with this one it says what, 40. Okay, so as you can see, it is what, 40, and then it's going to be what, normal. Okay, so that is what, that is it. Now that we have this one done, now we're going to go to what, border radius. Okay, we're going to say 50. Okay, so that is going to be what, that kind of round. Okay, now with this color, how do we get this color? Now of course we're going to what, pick this one over here, and then come over here and then change the color over here to what, to this one. Okay, so as you can see, we have this one, but of course if you look at this button and this button, it's different because there's some space over here, there's some space over here, and then some spaces what, over here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let me look at this one. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the padding over here. Okay, and then we're gonna say the top one will be, let's say 30, bottom will be 30, side will be let me say 40, this one will also be 40. Okay, now I want to reduce this one to, let's say 20. Yeah, and then this one should also be 20. Okay, so I think it's quite okay. It's quite okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So I'm going to go to here and then click on advanced over here, and then with the what, with the margin, I'm going to what, unlink all margin, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a top of what, 20. Okay, and then bottom of what, 20. Okay, so that it's going to be some kind of space over here. So guys, as you can see, we have what, we have our stream now button over here. Now I still feel like the stream now is too big. Okay, so I'm going to go to the typography over here, and then instead of 40 I'm going to say 30. Okay, so yeah, 30 is what's quite okay. So now we're going to have something like this. Okay, so now that we have something like this, which is similar to this one over here. Okay, the next one is we are done with the design, but we need to what, bring in the header, okay, which is what the logo over here. And then we also need to have our the menu items over here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to update this one. Okay, so whatever design that you do, you need to update it. Now if I come if I go back, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and then exit this one, and then I'm going to exit it to the dashboard. Okay, I'm going to apply. Yes, I want to leave. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to appearance over here, and then I'm going to go to menu. I have to create a menu so that the menu will appear. So what I will do is I'll create my first menu, and then I'll give the menu name as what main menu. Okay, and then I will position it at the primary. That is the primary menu. And then I'm going to click on create menu. Now menu is created, so we're going to bring our home page there. And then of course, if you look at the menu on top of here, we have the about, the services, the contact. Okay, so I'm going to create all those as custom links. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a custom link, and then we're going to have about. I'm going to add this one over there. We're going to have services as a custom link. I'm going to bring this one over here. Okay, and then we have a contact. Okay, so contact also as a custom link. Then I'm going to bring it over there. As you can see, we have this ones over here. Now I'm going to click on save changes or save menu, and then what I'm going to do is I'm still going to click on customize over here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to header. Okay, and I want to change the menu. So I want to change the logo. Okay, so I'll click on this title and logo over here, and I'm going to set a logo. So this is what the logo I'm going to use. I'm going to set it up. Now skip cropping. Okay, and then this is what we're going to use. So now what I'm going to do is let me see. Okay, so site title, no, we don't want the title, we just want just the logo. Okay, and that is it. So now that we have this one, so you can decide to reduce the logo width anyhow you want it. Okay, so let's say 220 is quite okay. Then we're gonna publish it. Okay, now to see it over here, now what I want to do is I want to fix this thing first, and then I'll bring now first of all, let me just go back over here. I'm gonna refresh this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to the dashboard, and then I want to do one thing. I want to go to settings over here, and then go to reading. Okay, go to reading, and then I want to change the home page and make it to a static page. Okay, and then I'm going to select the home that the home page that we created, and then I'm going to make it that particular page. Okay, so now if I go back to the website, you see that we have our page over here. Okay, and that is it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and then refresh the website, and then we're going to have the page that we created as the home page. So guys, as you can see, now we can we can customize it, and then we can see what we want to do about it. So now as you can see, we have this as as a logo. We have our logo also here. Okay, so now let's go back to the header builder again, and then this time around I'm going to bring the menu. Okay, let me just add social buttons to it. Okay, so just click on it and then add social buttons. Now with these social buttons, this is what we have. So is it similar to this one? So we have Facebook, Instagram, and then Twitter. So now let's go by Facebook, Instagram, and then Twitter. Okay, so now as you can see, we have Facebook, Instagram, and then Twitter. So now it should be showing over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to design over here, and then we can customize the colors. Okay, so the color we can choose the ones that we want. Okay, so as you can see, we have this social with buttons over there. Okay, so I think it's quite okay. You can decide to either show label, but of course our design over here doesn't show any label. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it as it is. Now you can play around with the colors. Okay, you can decide to play around with the colors. So this is what the label color. So let's say I choose um white for it, and then this one is also the background color. So as you can see, this is the background color. You can decide to remove this one. Okay, but it's not worth it. So with the background color, we're going to undo it. Okay, so that we're going to have the background as what it is. Okay, and that is it. So guys, now that we have this one done, of course we're not going to have the design as it is over here. Now if you want it the official color, you can go ahead and then use this one, but we want a custom color. Now we have to set this one over here. Now we're going to go to primary over here, and then the design, we will change the colors. Okay, so the text or link color, we're going to change it to white. Okay, and then the hover, you can decide to use the color that we used. Okay, so we're going to use this color as the hover color, and then also this one as the active color. Okay, so now if somebody hover on it, this is how it's going to be like. Okay, so that is it. And then with the font also, we can click on it with the menu font. You can click on it and then choose Montserrat for it, because that is what we are using. And then the weight and all those things. The weight, you can use the either the normal or the medium weight. Okay, and then text, we can use uppercase for it. Okay, because as you can see, this is uppercase. Okay, so now of course you can go ahead and then check the the size, which is 22. Okay, so if you make it the size to 22, let's see how it is. So it becomes a little bit bigger. Okay, and that is basically it. So now that we have this one done, now I think 22 is too big, so I'm going to reduce it to, let's say, 18. Okay, yeah, so this one is quite okay. So guys, as you can see, we have our design set up in some few minutes. Now we can go back and then check our design on Elementor again. So I'm going to go to all pages, go to edit with Elementor this time around, and then we want to check our design in Elementor, and then also change the design and make it mobile friendly. Okay, so guys, as you can see, this is how our design looks like. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to create a little bit space over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one over here. I'm going to go to advanced over here, and then I'm going to give it a top padding of, let's say, 50. Okay, so that there will be some kind of space over here. Okay, so now that I have this one done, I think everything is quite okay. Everything is good. Now only thing left is for us to make it mobile friendly. So to make it mobile responsive and mobile friendly, what we need to do is we're going to click on this responsive mode over here. Okay, and then choose tablet first, and then see how it appears on the tablet. I think the tablet is quite okay. Let me just adjust some few things over here. Let me go to style, change this one to, let's say, 75. Okay, and then this one, instead of the 30, I'm going to change it to maybe 25. Okay, so with the button, I think it's okay. Everything is quite okay. Now let's go to mobile over here. Okay, so now as you can see, guys, this is how it looks like. Okay, so music is live, is quite something. So what we're going to do is we're going to click over here and then go over here, and then this one, as in 75, we're going to say 55, or let's say maybe 430. Okay, so 30 is what quite okay, or 35, or maybe 40. Yes, 40 is what quite okay. Now over here I'm going to go and then change it to, let's say, 18, or maybe 16. Okay, so 16 is what quite okay. Now with the button, we also have to what reduce the size of it. So go to typography and then change this one to 20. Okay, and then I think 20 is quite okay for the button. If it is too big, we can still reduce it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we can reduce this one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click over here and then make the top to be 15, make the bottom to be also 15, this one to be 30, this one to be 30. Okay, so I think this one is quite okay for the mobile. Okay, so guys, as you can see, this one looks it looks great. Now of course, do not worry about this one. We can fix it. Okay, so we're gonna click on update over here to update our our how do you call it, our settings over here, our design. And then we're gonna go back to, let me view the page. Okay, first of all, let me view the page. Now this is how the page looks like. Now let's fix the mobile side from the customizer section, that is the header and all those things. So we're gonna go to customize over here, and then we're still gonna go to the, let's choose mobile side over here and go to header builder. Okay, so as you can see, this is the logo for the mobile. Now if you go over here, you see the mobile still have title to it. Okay, so we're going to remove it. Okay, and the logo will be, let's say, 200. Okay, so that's very good. Now let's change it to the mobile itself. So the first one we did was the tablet. Okay, so this is the mobile itself. It still also have the title over there. So we're gonna remove it and then change this one to 180, or maybe 150. Okay, so fine, this one is 150 is quite okay. Now what we're gonna do is the toggle button over here is not showing. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna click over here, and then I'm gonna use the second one and then go over here and then change the color to white. Okay, so as you can see now, we can see it. Now if you click on it, what happens? Our menu is supposed to appear over here, and that is the off canvas menu. Okay, so now over here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just make sure that the off canvas menu, we're gonna configure this one, and then the off canvas menu is supposed to be the main the main menu over here. Okay, and then we're gonna click on publish over here. Now let's go back. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the header builder again. Okay, so now if you come over here, you can see that this is the off canvas menu. Now to design the off canvas, we're gonna click on this one over here, and then first of all, we want to make it a flyout. Okay, so if I click over here, it's gonna be like this, and that is how I want it. Okay, now you can decide to choose the position that you want. Okay, it depends on you. So I'm gonna come over here, and then with the background, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the background to be, let's say, black, and then the close icon to be white. Okay, now with this black, I want it to be I want it to be a little bit transparent. Okay, so that when I click over here, this is how it's gonna be like. Okay, so that's exactly how I want it. Now let me click again, and then with the design, if I go back over here, now let me see. Okay, so now I can come to off canvas over here and then go to design over here, and then with the link color, menu link color, I want to change it to white. Okay, with the hover color, I want to change it to the color that we use in the primary color. And then with the active color also, we're going to change it to the primary what color. Okay, so guys, if I click over here, oh, if I click on this one, you're going to see that this is how it's going to what is going to appear. Okay, then I can decide to close it. Now of course, let me just come back again, go to design over here, and then I'm going to increase the opacity a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to say this one over here is quite okay for me. Now I can click on publish, and then I am good to go. So now if I close the customizer session, this is how we're gonna have. So now we can you can send this link to anybody to visit your website. Okay, and that is it. So this is how you can be able to convert your website, your Figma design, into a WordPress website. Now if I click on over here and then click on inspect over here, I can see how the website appears in most of the devices. Okay, so if I want to change a device, I can go to maybe any device. So let me say iPad Air. It's gonna be something like this. Okay, it is responsive over here. If I go to maybe iPad mini, it's also responsive. Okay, if I go to Surface Duo, it is also responsive. Now, almost every iPhone is also responsive. Pixel 5 is also responsive. So everything is working perfectly for us. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching this video, and then see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let us grow together to become big channel. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.